Adam, well done the other night. That was a good old-fashioned Conference North battle, that one.
Yeah, that's putting it in simple terms. It was definitely a Conference North spectacular. Really tough game. I said it after the game. I'm watching it back. I give a lot of credit to the opposition on Tuesday. The way they went about the game plan, they changed everything to what they had been doing to kind of stifle us, and for large parts they did. I'll be honest with that, but I was really pleased with the way that the boys reacted. Like I said after the game on Tuesday, we had to change a lot of things last minute just because of their new setup and what we planned for, and because they'd gone out the box a little bit. The boys had to take a lot of information on at the last minute, and they did it. And then the nitty-gritty, the basics of the game, especially at this level in this league, we did tremendously. And our actual defending of our final third was even better than I thought it was on the night watching it back. So the group showed me another dimension to it that I hadn't seen yet, which was really pleasing. Because I can say it now, that was my question over the group, that I've seen we can play some great football. I've seen that we can control games. We need more of a ruthless edge to us at the other end of the pitch, which we're working heavily on. But I wanted to know if we could withstand a cold Tuesday night when we're getting peppered, and we did.
Yeah, and without no way of being overly flippant, sometimes you expect the opposition to play, I don't know, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, it was like 2-8 from the first whistle, wasn't it, really?
Literally 2-8, that's a good way of putting it, and it was even a 3-8 when the goalkeeper came up. But look, it was, I always think the greatest, and I know it's a common saying, the greatest coaches are the best thieves, and I took a couple of things from Tuesday because it was it was so expansive, and it was risk-free reward for them, and I liked it. I really liked it. Probably a little bit too direct for me, but there was big parts of it I really liked, and he asked us a lot of questions, which I also liked because I got a lot of answers. There were some really big performances in there on Tuesday, some top performances, and as a team, something's changed over the last week. I can't put my finger on it, but something's changed, and it's results like that when people talk about, has it clicked, has it not clicked, that clicks something. I don't know if it's the click that everyone feels we need or needed, but something changed this week, and it's in a positive way.
For all the fact they had oodles of possession, and they did, particularly in the second half, we were just saying before you came in actually that I think Christian Dibble made a very good save from a free kick. They hit the post once, and there might have been one other opportunity. So as a unit, you defended really well because you restricted their opportunities to only a handful, really.
Yeah, and this is the crazy thing about football. We spoke a couple of weeks ago about the stats and all the boring stuff, and that was the first game this season where we've been dominated by possession. Normally it's the other way around, and we had the least possession we've had all season, but our expected goals was higher than theirs on the night. So just a crazy game in general. The stats were heavily in favour, apart from the main ones that fell in our favour, and that's football, isn't it? Sometimes you feel like, or it looks like you could be out of control when really you are in control. So no, we ended up the other night with a lot of positives, and we can take that forward.
3 wins on the spin, so you're on a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, look, I think for me it's been, I've felt it all along, to be honest with you. It's been a weird start to the season. I don't know if it's ourselves that have put unwanted pressure on ourselves. I don't know if it's the end of the season that's brought an energy into this season, the way last season finished. But there's been a strange feeling around the place, which I feel has led on to the players. Because even before Tuesday, I felt we'd had a strong start with a new group. Have we been at our full flow and performance levels have been 10 out of 10? No, but we've been picking points up, and that's the main thing. And I keep saying it, this group is growing and growing, and with games they get stronger and stronger. But obviously Tuesday night's win turns it into a really good start. But I felt that anyway, if I'm being honest. I felt like we wanted more points, but we were in a really good place. And sometimes you have to blank the noise out and just get on with it. But look, I love environments like this because it comes with a pressure. Sometimes it's a unwarranted pressure. Sometimes it's a warranted pressure, and you have to deal with that. but it's, for me, that's the whole reason we're in the game. I'd rather be at a club where you're expected to win every game 4-0 rather than just coast along in mid-table. That'd be pointless.
You mentioned a strange feeling around the place early on. Obviously, you don't know the answer to this probably, but could that be down to a bit of a hangover from coming so close last season?
I think so. I mean, obviously, and I only say that because I was in exactly the same position, and you look where Eastbourne are now, bottom of the league, and I think the hangover's still hungover. It does have an effect. The supporters are all humans. The people that work at the club, some of the players that are still here, are human beings, and emotions, unfortunately, rule a lot of that. What we have to do is just stay tunnel visioned in terms of what we're doing. Can we control everybody's emotion? Can we make everybody happy? No. Can we perform brilliantly every week and win every week? No. But as long as we find that consistency in everything, we'll be fighting for a promotion this season. I'd love us to be fighting for the title. If we can do that, brilliant. If not, we'll fight for the top 7 and go from there. But one thing that we will do is we'll be a strong team this season, and we're making good moves to get to where we need to be.
Much expected of Harriers this season, much expected of Macclesfield as well as they've come into the league, but obviously they're very well backed, so people are thinking they're going to do great things, really.
Yes, obviously got great backing, good resources, had a great season last season, had a decent start this season, and got some really good individuals. We've obviously done our homework on them, some good attacking threats, but it's about us. I know I say that a lot, but it really is about us. We're focusing on, I know people would have had a heart attack again with 5 changes on Tuesday, but we're focusing on what our best output is to win the game, and who's the best ingredients to go in and do that, and that is the majority of our focus. We know what Mac will bring. We know they're a good team with high expectations on the south, but it's all about us.
David Davis wasn't in the squad on Tuesday night. Is that an injury or just rested?
No. He had a personal family issue that we allowed him to take care of, but Digger's fine. Digger's back. We have suffered a few bangs Tuesday, a few ones that we're not quite sure on, so there'll be quite a fair few late calls for the weekend, but hence that's why we created a good strong squad.
It's probably wrong of me to single out any individuals from Tuesday, but I thought Amari Morgan-Smith up front, he battled for absolutely everything for 88 minutes, and probably longer than he might have been expected to be on the pitch, but it was a terrific effort by him, I thought.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Saturday when we spoke about Morgs, but he cuts opinion, doesn't he? He really does cut opinion. I think that there's so many people that see his value and see what he brings. There's another chunk of people that will say he doesn't score enough goals and doesn't warrant to be in the 11. For me, I'm brutally honest with Morgs. We've got that relationship. He needs to score more goals, but I'm also very, very grateful and respectful for what he does when he's not scoring goals, and people don't see him around the ground daily like I do every day, and what he brings, and sometimes you can't put a price on that. So no, I thought Morgs the other night was outstanding in terms of what he'd done. He took a heavy bang, so he could be unfortunately a doubt for the weekend, but yeah, I was really pleased with his performance Tuesday night.
Seb Thompson was another who went off on Tuesday. Is he a doubt as well?
Yeah, Seb's struggling. We're hoping it's not too bad. It was his hamstring, so we're just going to have to see how it settles down. Xander was the same. Xander had to come off as well with the same at half time. So in terms of that aspect, it's probably been our worst outing for the injury situation. But on the plus point, we've got Toby and Moons now that are really up in their recovery. So we're hoping they're not going to be too long.
But they won't be available for this weekend?
No, not this weekend.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
And this will obviously increase more so once those two gents you mentioned are available to you, but the strength of the squad, as you mentioned a couple of minutes earlier, is that if one or any of those lads are missing on Saturday, you can replace them with quality, can't you? You've got confidence that the numbers are there. Yeah,
definitely. Look, we've got a good group of players. I think probably the downside for us at the minute is the knocks that we have taken. They're all in the same area of the pitch, which is obviously a kick in the things again, but I think it's, look, we can find solutions. we're definitely a group of people and a group of staff that can think outside the box, and we'll do that. I think we, like you say, we've got a strong squad. There's certain areas of the pitch now that are really grabbing hold of the shirt and keeping it, and that gives me the headache then of to keep that consistent 11. But I think you see on Tuesday the reason why we do change it. I think for me, we have had such a, like everybody in the league, a tough few weeks with the Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Monday, and for us this week it's the travelling that's been the big problem, hence why we made all the changes we did on Tuesday, because Kirsten was a 3-hour plus journey as well, so that's the reason why we have these squads. I know I hear it all the time, I've heard it for years, that people will say, yeah, but this part-time team do it and they do it and they do it. We're not a part-time team, we're a full-time team, and if you're going to be a full-time team you need to do things properly, and for me, not risking people and putting people out there that are fresh in certain games is doing it properly. If we didn't have that option, then we wouldn't do it. We would do what other people do, what part-time teams do, but we're not in that position. We're in a position where we can rotate and keep things fresh, and we can use the squad that we've been given, and that's the whole point of having a squad. If we weren't going to do that, we'd just sign 16 players and run with it. So yeah, I understand there's two arguments for both cases, but having a squad, it's there to be used.